Have the call to order for the Civil Service meeting of June 17th, 2025 at 5:55 p.m. Yeah. And our first item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. All stand, please. Pledge allegiance. United States Republic. Thank you. Item number 3 is public comment. This time is made available for comments from the public on matters within the Civil Service Commission's jurisdiction that are not on the agenda. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes. I'm going to assume you've all been very patient. You're waiting for your specific item to come up. And we'll move right on to item 4, consent calendar.
I move to approve the consent calendar.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second for adoption of the consent calendar. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Commissioner Rios,
Yes.
Commissioner Fry.
Yes.
We have a 3 vote to approve to being absent.
Okay, we'll move down to item 5. Is a hearing for reclassification, reallocation of Administrative Assistant 3.
Yes, good evening, Commissioners. Sabrina Mendez, Department of Human Resources. This position is within the Social Services Department, and the Director of Social Services, Deborah Martinez, contacted HR and requested a review of the duties performed by Mr. Velarde. After review, it is recommended that Mr. Velarde be reclassed and granted direct status to Staff Services Manager. And this is for your review and consideration. And I'm available for any questions, as well as the employee and the Director of Social Services.
Okay. Commissioners, do you have any questions?
I guess I'd like to see if there was any public comment for this one.
Yeah, do we have anybody on
No, we don't have anybody.
nobody's on the computers? Okay. So we have just the crowd. Okay, what's your pleasure, guys?
I move that we go ahead and accept it. Approve it.
All right, I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Rios,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Commissioner Fry.
Yes.
We have a 3 vote to approve.
Item 5B is a hearing reclassification, reallocation of clerk recorder manager.
Yes, good evening again, Commissioners. The item before you involves a position within the Clerk Recorder's Office. The County Clerk Recorder requested a review of the duties for the Clerk Recorder Manager position. And so prior to the class and comp study implementation in 2024, the incumbent in the position was a division director and then reclassed to a manager. After a subsequent review by HR, it's recommended that Ms. Luna be reclassed and granted direct status to Deputy Director of Clerk Recorder Services.
Okay, and this is all because of the reclassification in 24.
Correct.
What's your pleasure, gentlemen?
I move that we go ahead and approve it.
Yeah, I'll second that with the comment that all the any fiscal impacts do affect, go for approval through the Board of Supervisors. So
Correct.
Yeah. We have a motion and a second for approval. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Rios,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
yes.
Commissioner Fry.
Yes.
3 to approve.
Okay, item 5C is a hearing reclassification, reallocation of elections manager.
Yes, so similar to the previous item, the item before you involves a position within the Clerk Recorder's Office. The County Clerk Recorder requested a review of the Elections Manager position, and it is similar in that this position prior to the class and comp study was also a division director and then reclassed to a manager. And so after a subsequent review, we're recommending that they be reclassed and granted direct status to Deputy Director of Clerk Recorder Services.
Do we have any questions on this item?
I move to approve.
I second it.
And if I may interject, I misspoke. It's Deputy Director of Elections.
We have a motion and a second for approval. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Commissioner Rios,
Yes.
Commissioner Fry.
Yes.
We have a 3-vote to approve.
Item 5D is a hearing reclassification, reallocation of senior deputy clerk recorder.
Good evening again. This is also a position within the clerk recorder's office. A review was requested for the senior deputy clerk recorder position. And after review, it's recommended that this position be reclassed and direct status granted as an elections manager.
I have a question here. I keep looking at the list and it says hearing. Is this individual gonna go to a hearing before you?
So this is a different type of hearing than we just had in April. So the hearing is an opportunity for the employee as well as their director to have the opportunity to speak if needed.
Okay.
Just a technical term for what our meeting is doing today.
Make a motion that we go ahead and
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Rios,
yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Commissioner Fry.
Yes.
3-vote to approve.
I know we're moving right along pretty fast here, so if anybody has something they really want to get up and talk at the microphone, stand up, jump up and down and wave, please. Okay, long as nobody gets mad at us, because that's okay. People do get mad at us.
Yeah, and I'm always sensitive to the public perception and the understanding of what the civil service is here for. We're here to, mediate between the county and the employees to ensure that things are being done fairly and according to what's in our handbook. And so typically when we have people here, it's, hey, what you guys are about to approve isn't fair, or at least we don't feel that it is. So when it gets to this point where HR, Human Resources is putting it on the agenda saying, hey, we agree, and you're sitting there nice and quiet, saying we don't have any objection to it, that's typically a fair telling that everybody's in agreement with it. And so that makes it a little bit easier. So by all accounts, if there is something that you feel is important to put on record, the stand is all yours, okay? Thank you.
All right, my screen just. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Yeah, and that being said, there are times, so you don't feel like you wasted your time, that there is a commissioner that will have a question that will come from one of you or a department head that we don't have knowledge of, and we'll want to maybe ask that for clarification. But we do appreciate you all being here. Otherwise, something might get missed. So. All right, item 5E is a hearing, a reclassification, reallocation of Office Assistant 1.
Yes, this item before you pertains to the library department. Our library director, Krista Riggs, requested a review of duties for Ms. Cook, who is an office assistant 1. Mariana Cook was hired as a central services assistant and reclassified to an office assistant 1 upon implementation of the class and comp study. And the central services assistant classification was eliminated as part of the process to consolidate job descriptions. And she has a unique situation. So due to the timing of when she was hired, there wasn't an opportunity for her to submit a PDQ. Job descriptions or PDQs had already been collected. Job descriptions had already been drafted. So she was hired in the midst of all of this. And so her position or the classification of central services assistant was eliminated. It was reclassed to an office assistant, which really isn't fitting for the types of duties that she performs. One of the most important duties that she performs is lifting heavy heavy materials where within the office assistant classification, the maximum I believe is 10 or 15 pounds, and she carries or lifts much more than that. And so we are requesting that she be reclassed. And I wanted to also note that her situation is also unique in the way that typically when you see a reclass, they're reclassed to either a higher or a lower position. She is going to be lateral, so we don't think it's very fair for her to have to go through another probationary period. So typically it's fitting if they're in a different position. If they're in a higher position, it's very fitting because you'd want to see if they're performing at that higher level and they have that probationary period. Since this is lateral, we are requesting that you grant her not only direct status, but also permanent status in the new position.
Is that made pretty clear, guys?
Yeah, with all these reclassifications and job description changes, we trust that there isn't any holes in our operation, right? Where we're reclassifying job descriptions where it's like, well, who's going to do that now? Because now nobody's assigned to that, right? So we know that that's, a priority for all of your department heads as well as you. And so clearly we can't go through all of that and put all those pieces together. So, and again, that's an opportunity for the public as well, or the staff who are here to be able to say, hey, I identify that if I'm no longer doing this, who's going to do it, right? And if there's clear lines that need to be drawn, then that's also good. So it looks like we do have somebody that was drawn here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
State your name and position, please.
Sure. I'm Krista Riggs. I'm the library director, and I can just address that. There will not be any holes with this reclassification. Moriana's been doing a great job in this position. She'll continue doing what she's already been doing. And as Sabrina said, it's mostly that we're making sure we're treating her fairly and staying within the job descriptions of not asking someone to lift more than is in the job description.
Perfect.
Thank
Love to
you.
hear that. Thank you.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add, she just completed her 1 year, which is again why we did not want to have for her to have to go through a probationary period again when she just completed that 1 year. So congrats to you.
Thank you for your 1 year.
So she didn't get in trouble once in that 1 year?
Yeah.
I think that's admirable to do that as well.
Great job.
Okay, entertain a motion.
I move to approve.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Commissioner Rios,
Yes.
Commissioner Fry,
Yes,
three votes to approve.
thank you very much. Item 5F, June voluntary. Doing this. My screen keeps changing. But I know how to fix it now. Okay, June voluntary demotion for Eliana Ochoa. I hope I pronounced that right.
Yes, we received a written request from Eliana Ochoa for a voluntary demotion from her position of eligibility worker 1 to office assistant 2 within the Department of Social Services. Ms. Ochoa will be paid at the step providing the closest monthly salary as before, except that the salary shall not be higher than the amount previously received. And this is before you for your review and consideration.
This voluntary demotion for Ochoa. You also get a demotion on her pay.
Correct. Yes, the range is lower than, the range for office assistant 2 is lower than the eligibility worker 1.
Is she okay with that?
She is aware of this, yes.
Just for the sake of understanding the internal process, when you have a current employee who's saying, hey, I want that position that's open, in this case, the office
Mhm.
assistant 2, is that department head or manager, do they have the opportunity to decline that as well?
They do. There is typically a conversation within the department
Okay.
between the employee and typically the director. And so the director would have to identify if there is a vacant position
Okay.
first. And then, of course, there are also conversations within HR as well sometimes before this is brought before you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and that question wasn't unique to this individual or this specific position, but just in general to ensure that there's, synergy amongst department heads so that, somebody's not inheriting somebody who's trying to evade potential, performance review or performance disciplinary action. If they kind of foresee that and say, oh, I'm going to get out of here and go into another trajectory. So that's where that stemmed from. So thank you. With that, I move to approve.
Joe, do we have a
I'll
second?
second it. I'll second the
Okay,
motion.
thank you. We have a motion and a second for approval. Roll call?
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Commissioner Rios,
Yes,
Commissioner Fry,
Yes.
3 vote to approve.
Okay, item 5G is another voluntary demotion in June for Maria Rogers.
Yes, we also received a written request from Maria Rogers, Social Worker Supervisor 2, to a Social Worker 4 within the Department of Social Services. And again, she'll be paid at the step providing the closest monthly salary as before, except that the salary shall not be higher than the amount previously received. And this is also before you for your review and consideration.
Do we have any questions?
I move to approve.
I'll make a motion and we approve it.
I
Okay,
second.
we have a motion and a second for approval. Roll call, please.
I'm sorry, I had Commissioner Perez being the mover, and so it's not.
But we could put it under Commissioner Rios and I second it.
Commissioner Rios,
Yes,
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Commissioner Fry,
Yes.
3 votes to approve.
Okay, item 5H, adoption. Green? Adoption of Information Systems Analyst 1, classification specification.
Yes, good evening, Commissioners. The items 4H through 4N are in reference to Merit's System Services classifications.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. So yes, the items 4H through 4N are all related. They are in reference to Merit System Services classifications. I was just going to let you know.
Is it 4 or 5H?
I believe it's 5H because you're looking at a different program than what
Right,
was
it's
generated,
right.
than what we used to generate the agenda. So yes, it says 5H on yours. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So 5H through 5N.
Okay,
Okay, they're all related, and I was just gonna let you know, I will make an introduction for the next succeeding items. But I will make an introduction now, but not for each item. But if
Right.
you have a question specific to that class title, of course, I'm available
Okay,
to answer.
because they're all the same.
Yes,
thing.
they're all the same. So we're proposing the commission adopt these classifications and salary recommendations. Upon approval, the salary recommendation will go before the board. And the item, and it's for your review and consideration.
Okay, do we have any questions on this item?
No, I move to approve.
I second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Commissioner Rios,
Yes,
Commissioner Fry,
Yes.
3 vote to approve.
Item 5I, adoption. There. See what it did? System's toying with us.
But
Yeah,
it's telling you
what
what
she's
was
doing.
voted.
Right.
And then-
Yeah, that's just, I don't know, some way we can clean that up so it doesn't bounce back and forth. We'll get there. Okay, what am I?
Bye-bye.
5I, adoption of Information Systems Analyst 2 classification specification.
Yes, so this item is similar to the previous item.
Have a motion?
Yeah, I move to approve.
Joe?
you want approval on that?
No, we need a second.
I move to approve.
He motioned.
Yeah, I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval. All roll call, please.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Commissioner Rios,
Yes.
Commissioner Fry.
Yes.
We have a 3 vote to approve.
Item 5J, adoption of senior information systems analyst classification specification.
Because these are blanketed, I was trying to look for kind of a compare and contrast. Are any of the job qualification or applicant qualifications changing for any of these items?
No, so these are similar to what we've brought before you in previous meetings. So they are Cal HR, or their Merit System Services is through Cal HR. So these are state job descriptions. And typically our Department of Social Services and our Department of Child Support Services utilize these particular job classifications. And so what we're doing is just merely adding them so that they can be utilized by these two departments. They are not job descriptions that the county drafts or,
Okay.
yes, but they are still added by your commission, and they are still given to our unions so that they can review and
Sure.
agree to move forward with these.
Yeah, I'm all about having high standards and, bringing in the best applicants, but I'm also not wanting to gatekeep, local individuals who maybe currently qualify for these jobs, but then if there's through some change or reclassification now, there's something that roadblocks them from that. So that's where that came from. Thank you. I move to approve. I move to approve that.
Tom, I think you wanted to say something.
You were just getting closer.
Just in case. So I'm Deborah Martinez. I'm the Director of Social Services and your public guardian. And so I just wanted to point out there's going to be no negative impacts. I know that your councilman were kind of wondering about that, but there's no negative impact on any existing staff. And the requirements are very, very similar to the current job descriptions that are similar. We're using the titles and the job descriptions from MSS as we're required to, but it's not going to have a negative impact on any employee, current or future.
Perfect. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. Okay,
Okay,
so we have a
I
motion
second the
and a
motion.
second for approval.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Commissioner Rios,
Yes.
Commissioner Fry.
Yes.
We have a 3 vote to approve.
Item 5K, adoption of services support assistant 1 classification specification.
Yes, so again, this is just a consideration to adopt the job classification.
I move to approve.
Make a motion that we approve it.
I second.
We have a motion and a second for approval. I don't think it's going to work like
Commissioner Rios,
Yes. Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Commissioner Fry.
that. Yes.
3 vote to approve.
Are we going too fast? No, we're okay? All right. Item 5. What am I on? L?
L.
Adoption of services support assistant 2 classification specification.
Yes, so this is a request to also adopt the services support assistant too. So this is the 2 level of the previous item.
I'll entertain a motion, Joe.
Make a motion that we go ahead and approve it.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second for approval. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Rios,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Commissioner Fry.
Yes.
3 votes to approve.
Item 5M, adoption of services support assistant 3 classification specification.
Yes, so this is just a consideration to adopt the services support assistant 3 level.
Entertain a motion.
I move to approve.
I second it.
We have a motion and a second for approval. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Commissioner Rios,
Yes.
Commissioner Fry.
Yes.
The 3-0 vote to approve.
5N, adoption of social services aid classification specification.
Yes, so lastly, this is a request to adopt the social services aid classification specification.
All right.
Any discussion?
No, I move to approve.
I second it.
We have a motion and a second for approval. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Commissioner Rios,
Yes.
Commissioner Fry.
Yes.
3 vote to approve.
Item 5O, adoption of classification Director of Communication.
So I'm here to give Sabrina a break. Shanika Dixon, Human Resources. This is a new classification in collaboration with the Department of Administration. Human Resources is proposing to create the Director of Communications classification that will be utilized to enhance the presence and transparency of Madera County in order to inform, educate, and engage residents, stakeholders about county programs, services, and events when necessary. With the growing complexity of public engagement and the need for transparency, timely and accurate information dissemination, there's a clear need for a dedicated classification for consistent messaging to engage with the public and stakeholders effectively. We're proposing the commission adopt the classification. Upon approval, the salary recommendation will be brought before the Board of Supervisors, and this is for your review and consideration.
What happens with the person who's kind of been doing this job anyway?
Well, we currently have a group of, we have a public information team. And so it's a collaborative effort to provide support and information separately. And then we also currently have a public information officer who is not an employee, but they are contracted. So we will do away with that individual and just create this classification. They've been doing a great job, so that's not the case, but there's just more
Yeah.
needed.
Yeah, much more technical nowadays.
Absolutely.
It's always important to have a good speaker. Hey, what's your pleasure, guys?
I'm taking my time to just read the job description because this is a new position. I'm just trying to see if it's something I might want to sign you up for. No, I'm just kidding.
No, please don't.
Just making sure that,
I'm too much Donald Trump.
yeah,
Might not come out right.
yeah, no, I think this job description is something we could find here locally. So
Yeah.
I move to approve.
I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second for approval.
Excuse me, I have one quick question on this.
Yes.
Director of Communication. Is it Director of Communications for the whole county or
Yes.
communication between what and what?
This is the Director of Communications of the entire county. So they disseminate information to the public, work with media.
That's what you said right now.
Yes.
Okay, but is there no communication with any of the employees?
Oh, absolutely. There's communication, but this is information that we are putting out outside of the county to the
Okay,
public.
all right.
Like a press
Thank
release.
you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it also promotes a lot of Madera County's activities and programs, animal shelter, things like that. There's a lot of great programs that employees or the residents of Madera may not be aware of that the county provides. So this would be a good opportunity to disperse and share that information and really promote Madera County.
You may have seen more of that happening this past year. If any of you are on social media, there's been an increased presence just to get the word out on who Madera County is and all of the great things that we do here.
Is this person going to be coordinating a lot of these, like the sheriff's department puts out something, the things that happen in Madera County, especially law enforcement related?
We're going to talk about that one next.
Okay, because there is a lot of information going out there and it's good to have. And then it's a place to vent back or compliment as well. So nothing wrong with that. Okay, we do have a motion and a second for approval. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Commissioner Rios,
Yes.
Commissioner Fry,
Yes.
3 vote to approve.
Item 5P, adoption of classification, Director of Public Safety Communications.
Okay, so this is also a new classification that is being proposed in collaboration with the Sheriff's Office. Human Resources is proposing to create the Director of Public Safety Communications classification, which will oversee the strategic planning, development, and management of the Sheriff's Office public information, which oftentimes is very sensitive in nature, such as communication to the public in the event of a crisis situation, such as evacuation warnings, wildfire information, amber and silver alerts, critical statements regarding criminal activities or investigations, in addition to media relations and communication efforts to various audiences in order to further establish trust and break any communication barriers between county
law enforcement and the public. So as public safety demands grow in complexity and the interagency coordination becomes more critical, the need for centralized strategic leadership over emergency communications is more necessary. So we're proposing the commission adopt the classification, and upon approval, the salary recommendation will be brought before the Board of Supervisors for approval.
Okay, entertain a motion.
I move to approve.
Make a motion that we approve it.
We already have a motion, Joe. Will you second it?
Second it.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
We have a motion and a second for approval. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Commissioner Rios,
Yes.
Commissioner Fry,
Yes.
3 vote to approve.
Item 5Q, abolishment of classification public information officer.
Okay, so we are requesting the commission's approval to abolish the classification titled Public Information Officer. This recommendation is part of our ongoing efforts to streamline the county's classification plan and align job classifications with current operational needs. With the adoption of the previous 2 classifications, this classification will no longer be necessary.
Okay,
Does this affect any current employees? Is there some? No. Okay. So nobody assumes that title now.
Not at this time.
I have a question on this.
Yes, it's been vacant for some
finish?
time.
go ahead, Joe.
On the, you're gonna abolish the, public information officer classification.
Yes, that's
Would
correct.
Is he similar to the director of communications?
It is similar, but it is not at as of a high level as the director of communications. So the job duties are similar, but there are more duties and that are being performed by the director of communications.
So
And
you're
they're performed at a higher level as
completely
well.
eliminating the public information officer. The public information officer, of course, for the public, right?
While the other one is also for the public.
But Joe, the previous 2 motions that we had cover this position. This position no longer is necessary because we have 2 new positions.
Okay.
So all of the job duties that were under this position will now be under the other 2 positions, in
Okay.
addition to higher level duties.
You want a motion?
Do we have a motion? Do we need a, no, did we do
I
it?
move to approve.
Okay.
I second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second that I didn't remember. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Commissioner Rios,
Yes.
Commissioner Fry,
Yes.
3 vote to approve.
And we are at item 6, staff reports.
Yes, good evening again. So I just wanted to bring to your attention, I know that we had spoke at our last meeting about the final report or the final order and decision from the appeal that had taken place in April. And so I just wanted to let everyone know that our president, Commissioner Fry, came in. The final order and decision was received by and drafted by our council. Commissioner Fry came into our office, reviewed the document and signed it, and it was dispersed to both parties. I just
actually
wanted,
read the whole thing. Took me a while. He did a good job on it. Spoke to all of our points very well. So we shouldn't get in any trouble.
Well, I appreciate you reviewing that because, we sit in the same public that the staff, who brought the appeals attention to. We sit in the same, eat at the same diners and do all the same stuff. So I hope that that document can show the thoroughness that we spent, collecting all that information and ensuring that, we made the most accurate decision
That point was,
based off of it.
that point was well brought up in that document. That we spent an extra amount of time making sure we heard everybody, heard different points of view.
Perfect.
Yeah, that was well stressed.
and that's the only report I have.
And it's too soon to know if they're gonna do anything with it one way or the other, so
Correct.
whether we have a writ or not, which is always a possibility. Okay. And no other staff reports, I'll move for adjournment.
Make a motion that we adjourn.
We are adjourned.
You want the motion?
Thank you.
Yes. We got it.
Thank you,
We're
sir.
good.
Thank you for your time.